The idea in what I do with my clients is how do we resolve conflicts at the lower levels before it ever escalates to that? How about if we catch it before it gets to HR? 80% of the complaints that go to HR are petty. The employee complaining about the supervisor. Why didn't they just have a conversation? It's not rocket science. It's just that sometimes we need to learn how do you have those sometimes difficult yet crucial conversations. How do we teach people to do that? How do you stay competitive? There's only two things you can do in your organizations to stay competitive. You can either reduce cost or increase productivity. That's it. One of the biggest areas where you can reduce cost is managing workplace conflict effectively. Cost of conflict, if you think about the time and the energy and on unresolved conflicts, it's wasted not only in the time that we're in conflict with each other, but how you brood about that conflict later, or sulk, or avoid, or take off early, or even worse, stay and take off but stay. Gossip at the water cooler, that's a good one. Loss of poor morale, employee attrition, back to the losing good people, sabotage, violence, lawsuits. These are very, very expensive, and you can actually put a dollar figure. You can actually figure out how much conflict is costing your organization. The RAND Corporation statistics, I think, are pretty interesting. $700,000 is the average jury award of a wrongful termination, which would have been avoided had there been communication beforehand. $80,000 is the number of discrimination charges filed annually. $38,000 the average claim paid on a sexual harassment case. $15,000 is the number of sexual harassment cases filed annually. 70 is the percent of jury trials in which employees win. Not looking good for the employer, 6.4, the average amount in millions of punitive damages awarded in racial discrimination cases. 2.7 is the average amount in millions of punitive damages awarded in employee cases. So if conflict is the problem, what's the solution? Well, strategic management of workplace conflict, just like we strategically manage safety. There was a time in the history of the United States where safety wasn't managed. It was just assumed. For every $1 million of a construction project, they budgeted one life. $12 million project, we're going to lose 12 people. So all of a sudden, in the Golden Gate Bridge, the first guy, engineer named Strauss, who was a project manager, first person to ever introduce hard hats and so on, all the safety features. So they reduced the safety costs, and now it's just an understood thing. We can do the same thing with conflict. We can strategically manage conflict, create an organizational culture that supports what? Openness and trust. Easy to say, sometimes hard to do. It's not that hard. It does take a little effort. Put the tools of professional mediators in the manager's hands. A core competency of any manager is that tool of being able to manage conflicts and differences in the organization. Yet, very few actually have that. We're promoted into management because we do the job well. You're really good at that. We're going to make you a supervisor. So you know how to do a job, but you don't have any training in how to manage people, how to deal with personalities, how do you resolve conflicts. So we kind of wing it or copy our past bosses. You need to have those skills as leaders. That's a skill for your toolbox. Then we need to train all employees on how to have those crucial conversations. How do you structure a conversation? How do you approach somebody? Just to meet with them. Sometimes that's the biggest barrier. I have a conflict with someone, don't even want to approach her. So I have to know, how do I approach her? How do I structure it? How do we come out with a win-win outcome that identifies the interests and needs of both parties so that we can have win-win outcomes? Resolve conflicts on the lowest level where we can do it cheaply, and implement a conflict management system that all employees know how to utilize and that is easy to do in the organization. Conflict resolution, conflict prevention, and mediation are at the heart of an organization's success because they result in a more cooperative environment in which people are more likely to realize their full potential, therefore the organization being able to reach its potential because all we are is people in the organization. And so if we have an unharmonious work environment, we're going to have problems in the organization. The benefits of high-performing, productive, profitable work environments: the cost is minuscule compared to the cost of not doing it. My mission in life is world peace, one conflict at a time. So I invite all of you to contact me and contact my office, and I can show you how you can create that kind of an environment where you work. Thank you very much.